Saying that this 2025 crypto bull market has been volatile is probably an understatement. Meme coins just took up so much of the space and the collective real estate. They absorbed a lot of attention. There was no breathing room for altcoins earlier in the cycle, with so many of them, so many of the meme coins going around. And certainly things did start to look good as Trump was entering the White House. However, as you probably remember, there were two major meme coins that got rugged, and then there was all the economic uncertainty in terms of the tariffs that translated into a pretty tough market for cryptocurrency. That being said, though, there are still coins that bounce back strong after each and every dip. These are legacy projects. These are proven winners multiple times over, and we consider them to be conviction projects. There are four in particular that we are backing basically no matter what. We're going to highlight them in this video and give you our take as to why they're going to help lead the charge into the height of this bull run. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest, whether it's these four projects that we're considering today or any other altcoins in the space. I wish you well. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, meaning that this video, by extension, is not official financial or investment advice. Let's begin here at number one with a real-world assets, an RWA powerhouse in the form of Mantra, whose ticker is OM. Now, often we talk about Ondo Finance for the most part when it comes to our prize RWA selection, but the fact is that Mantra is the leader in this space in real-world assets. It's actually been a very steady top three in this sector, and recently its price has seen some positive development. In this chart here, we're looking at the last 3 months of performance, and while most altcoins have just been absolutely butchered during that time, during this last quarter, we can see that the price of OM has actually more than doubled, which is pretty sensational. And then over the course of the last year, it's still up by over 760%. About a week ago, it did dip all the way down to about $6, but it's back up a little bit since then. The downside here in terms of tokenomics, though, is that there is an infinite supply. So that's never good. As far as I know, there aren't really any direct reasons for the current surge in price. It's down slightly today, and that's probably because the news just broke that their airdrop is once more delayed. And you may have heard about this. There was also a Sybil investigation. This ruled out over 123,000 out of 217,000 addresses. So that's 56% of all eligible wallets. But on the other hand, institutions are still very keen on Mantra. So realistically, you may want to wait a bit to see how the price of OM develops, but right now, currently just below $7 probably represents a pretty good entry point. Next up, and at number two on our list, is SUI, SUI. This is a project, of course, that has had a pretty steady place in the spotlight, and that's for a lot of valid reasons. However, of course, like most other coins, its current price development is lacking. That's just kind of been the state of the market, right? Nonetheless, SUI is one of the strongest bounces in terms of comebacks that we've seen in this current market cycle. So you should probably consider the current price of $2.34 to be a decent entry point. There was some big news recently in that Canary Capital applied for a first ever SUI spot ETF. Of course, this confirms that more institutional interest is developing in a very steady and healthy way. Another very important observation is SUI's TVL, total value locked. It's also been staying pretty steady, above $1 billion with a $2 billion peak that we saw in January. In this light, we can also envision a partnership with Trump's World Liberty Financial. Here's another interesting development, and that's the introduction of Lombardi BTC or LBTC to SUI. Lombardi is a main player in Bitcoin DeFi or BTCFi. This unlocks liquidity for BTC holders on SUI, but without having to sell their BTC. LBTC is a liquid staking token. Bitcoin has a $1.6 trillion market cap and a massive crypto holder base, obviously. And then SUI's speed and advanced smart contracts open up all kinds of new financial tools for BTC. It now becomes programmable. SUI's architecture also ensures security and trust. And at the end of the day, that just means that you can do a lot more with your BTC on SUI. Next up, we're looking at Walrus Protocol, ticker WAL. With this one, we're staying within the SUI network. Miston Labs, the team that is behind SUI, is also behind Walrus. Now, we've covered this before. Walrus is a digital storage platform that is about to revolutionize this particular sector. You can think of it as an upgrade to existing storage solutions. Its mainnet launch is imminent. That is to say, it's expected very soon. It's not here just yet, but despite that, it already has a vibrant ecosystem. Its WAL token launch is also coming during this month, and this is going to come with its own airdrop. And actually, one of SUI's co-founders has already called it one of the largest airdrops in crypto history. And this, of course, kicked off a lot of big price speculation among the airdrop receivers. The current airdrop has a 4% allocation from the total token supply of 5 billion WAL. And so this leaves 6% for further airdrops at some later stage. So Walrus Protocol stores and delivers large data files, and these can range from rich media content to audio files, videos, images, PDFs, of course, whatever, a lot more as well. It also doesn't matter if it comes from a Web 2 or a Web 3 source. And Walrus uses SUI as the coordination layer. However, it's not restricted to SUI. That means any builder can use it, including Ethereum and Solana. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight is brought to you by SUI. And if we take a look at the market, you could say that it's gone crazy really over the last 30 days. We saw 2 huge liquidations of over $1 billion and a pump and dump over the weekend, as we've been talking about in this video. But some coins like SUI, SUI, have weathered the storm and are still a great investment opportunity today. It has quickly become one of the leading altcoins in this market, and let's consider why here. First of all, SUI is killing it in terms of all the big sectors that it supports. So I'm talking about DeFi. That is where SUI crossed $1 billion in TVL and is almost at $1.5 billion in record time. SUI liquidity aggregator DeepBook also launched its DEEP token, DEEP, in October, which is holding up well despite the tough market conditions. Walrus is changing the game in decentralized data storage. Its token launch is coming very soon. And Solana builders are building on SUI now with integrations like Phantom and Backpack. SUI even has a small but growing meme coin market for the meme coin lovers out there. If you have not used SUI lately, then come give it a try. And also follows SUI's X account for all the latest updates. Check out the links that you'll find in the description of this video below. At number 3 here, we're looking at Cardano, whose ticker ADA saw a nice surprise comeback kicking off in about November 2024. Starting at about that time, ADA surged from a local low of about 35 cents, it was sideways there for a while, to $1.20 in only a month's time. As I record right now, the price of ADA is just below 72 cents, so it's down from those recent highs that it's seen, but still, it's doubled up from where it was at 35 cents. This is, of course, a legacy platform, a legacy project, and it's got a lot going for it right now. For example, Midnight is going to be a sidechain on Cardano that offers privacy. Cardano will also become a hybrid layer 2 on Bitcoin, which is going to allow BTC liquidity to flow into Cardano's DeFi. Both projects use a similar transaction system that is called UTXO, so it won't be too difficult to hook Cardano up with the Bitcoin network, and that's a big deal. And then last but not least here at number 4, we're looking at another legacy coin in the form of Ripple's XRP. This is a project that very much has the wind in its sails right now. Yeah, the market is down, and so is this project relatively, but through no fault of its own. Really, there's a lot of positive things happening with regards to Ripple and XRP. For context, it went from 54 cents in November of last year, 2024, to $3.21 in January 2025. So from 54 cents to $3.21 in 2 months. And among other things, the end of that long-lasting SEC lawsuit really is what's primarily, I would argue, playing in Ripple's favor right now, and is a major part of its revival and comeback. And despite the current dip in the market, we can still observe that XRP is holding up relatively well, right now at $2.31. One very important metric, objectively speaking, is that whales are still scooping up XRP. Check out this video if you've not already. We covered that phenomenon in more detail. There's even speculation of a $15 XRP price once things kind of level out, once the dust settles. That is conjecture, but some people are talking about it. And then, of course, we have Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. Love him, hate him, whatever. Maybe you're somewhere in between on the spectrum, but he's been in the spotlight a lot recently. Garlinghouse, of course, was one of the invitees during the recent White House Crypto Summit. And so altogether, we have a lot of good things that are currently happening at Ripple. This is a legacy project. This is one that has been through multiple bull cycles as well as bear cycles and bear markets, and it's a survivor. Let me know what you think about these coins. These are the perennial favorites just because they are survivors in a major way and they keep innovating. They're staying on top of things. They're back in the spotlight and they have a pretty bright future. in my estimation. But let me know perhaps if you have some other ones that you'd like to add to this list in the comments below. Also, be sure to join our discussion that is very active and ongoing in both Discord and on X. You can find those links in the description below.